Crude booster pump fire in a refinery. This case study is based on an OAS report. A major fire broke out in a crude distillation unit of a refinery. Initially, the fire was around a crude booster pump. Subsequently, the fire engulfed instrumentation and electrical cables, pipelines in overhead pipe racks, and heat exchangers in CDU. At the time of the incident, two booster pumps were in operation. It was observed that the pump casing was totally damaged and torn into two pieces, dislodged towards the suction side by about 8 inches. The impeller was found detached from the shaft. The fire was lasted about 4 hours, caused extensive damage to all three crude booster pumps. Technology structures, pipe racks, piping, insulation, electrical and instrument cables. There was no injury and loss of life due to the fire incident. The unit was running at a normal throughput of around 350 metric per hour. The crude booster pumps were taking suction from flash drum at a temperature of 179 degrees centigrade. The discharge pressure of booster pump was 31.5 kg per centimeter square. There was an explosion in the early morning hours. The shift in charge, after getting information of fire, took action for emergency shutdown of the unit. The furnace was stripped from the control room. However, since there is no facility to isolate crude product lines from control room, the lines were isolated manually, which is time consuming. The power supply to the entire unit was switched off from the substation by electrical personnel. The fire continued for more than 4 hours due to burning of holding up liquid in the flash drum, crude and pipelines. Subsequently, the fire spread to nearby areas, leading to major fire and consequential damage to pipe fitting, etc. Casing of booster pump was totally damaged and torn into two pieces. The casing plate was cut circumferentially. There is no welding joint in the casing of the location of failure. See this picture. Thickness of the casing at the detached or cut location throughout the circumference is about 1 mm. Such failure of casing plate into two pieces is a clear indication of mechanical failure of the casing due to rubbing of impeller against the pump casing. No significant internal corrosion was observed in the casing plate in general. The history of booster pump indicates the problem of high vibration and sharp jamming, for which the pump was taken to mechanical workshop for repair and maintenance. Subsequently, the pump was taken on service, and since then pump was running. The failure of loosening of lock nut allowed the impeller detached. It moved towards the suction end by hydraulic pressure on the back of impeller. The impeller of the pump got detached due to shearing of the shaft near the lock nut. The friction between impeller and casing is a possible source of spark generation to ignite the crude oil. The root cause of the major fire is the failure of lock nut of the impeller. Failure occurred due to anyone or combination of the following: axial vibration resulting in load on the lock nut leading to its failure, inadequate tightening torque on the lock nut at the workshop during the overhauling, integrity failure of washer of the lock nut, or thread damage. Failure of the lock nut caused the impeller to move towards the suction end and touches the casing plate by hydraulic pressure on the back of impeller. This resulted in significant rubbing action on the impeller against the casing plate, and impeller acted like a cutting tool to cut the casing plate circumferentially into two pieces. Vibration of the piping connected with this pump. The motor also did not trip on overload during cutting action of casing plate by the impeller. Therefore, the motor trip logic and trip current setting was not working properly, or maybe faulty. Learning from this incident, during the pump overloading, thorough inspection of locking arrangement of the impeller with the shaft must be done to check for any deterioration or abnormality. It is to be ensured that impeller locking is done with appropriate torque, and the same must be properly supervised for all critical pumps. Preventive or predictive maintenance of pumps to be strengthened to avoid such incidents. The motor trip logic and trip current setting must be looked into so that in case of any overloading, the motor is tripped automatically. Vibration of the suction piping connected with the pump must be eliminated. Periodic checks and vigil by field operator in all shift. To minimize the adverse consequence from such incident, Quick isolation at the section of critical pump is required through remote operable valve from the field and control room. Which PSM element involved in this incident? Clearly we can say that mechanical integrity and quality assurance.